is ready and going. The cars are out to make their way around to the grid ahead of their formation lap. The first chance they get to really try out the car at no speed, of course, but they get to see what the track's doing this morning and see how their cars and driving styles are reacting, of course. It's Nano Lopez who will start on pole position, a driver that we've seen quite a lot in this championship, racing for TS Corsa this weekend. And all in the Formula 3 regional 13-inch tyre specification. He raced in last year and he got 2 third places, so he's definitely one to watch out for, and picking up pole position from his competitor Hugh Barter, who has been one of the drivers that has absolutely been showing his stardom, really, coming into the Hoosier Formula Cup, and has really been impressing out there. So first race of 3 today for the single-seaters. The final race of the day actually is their final race. So it'll be interesting to see how the cloud coverage will change throughout the day, because yesterday it got a bit cooler yesterday, and these Hoosier tyres, thank you Hoosier for getting involved this year. It's great to see them involved in the championship, but the tyres obviously will change throughout the day as the temperature changes. And we saw yesterday in the Endurance prototype, obviously different car, different tyres and all sorts, but the tyre deck was pretty high out there. These races will only be 20 minutes, so a little bit less on the tyres, but also the cars are significantly different as well. So today we will have 14 cars out on track, which is a brilliant grid list once again, and these drivers use this championship to step up to the next category, which is definitely something we've seen, especially with one of our drivers, Enzo Richer, who is involved in the prototype and the GT Endurance this weekend. And unfortunately didn't have the race he was after yesterday in the prototype endurance. Did our 2024 champion Enzo Richer. He unfortunately, the driver before, had a bit of an off and he had to do a bit of damage limitation, but it was a shame as the car number 17 in the prototype endurance was running pretty well. That is Nano Lopez starting on pole position on the left hand side of the grid, or right side if you're the driver. And a good pole position for Nano Lopez, but it'll be interesting to see what Hugh Barter can do from second on the grid, because he is definitely one to watch in this championship. He's been racing in Formula 3. I think it's time to head down, though, to the grid, because Chaz Draycott is standing by, and I believe he's going to try and get a word with Hugh Barter, who starts in second.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Claire. It's fantastic down here on the grid. An interesting thing to note to begin with, though, is that while it's really sunny and the surface is really hot on this side of the grid, there's a lot of shade on the right-hand side of the grid still. So I'm wondering whether any of the pole sitters or anybody on the right-hand side of the grid might get a cleaner getaway. We'll speak to Hugh Barter, though. Hugh, how are you feeling starting on the front row of the grid this morning? You must be quite confident.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's a long run down to turn 1, so it's important to get a good start. So just focusing on that and then see what happens for the rest of the race.
I was just saying then to everybody at home that with a bit of shade on the right-hand side of the grid, it might mean that it's a little bit easier to get away on that side, or would you think it was easier over here in the hot side of it because it's off the racing line?
It's a bit of a plus-minus-0 situation. Like you said, it's cold on that side of the track, but it's also cleaner. To be honest, it's my job to manage. It's also his job to manage, so we see what the outcome is.
And what's it like trying to adapt from the likes of Formula 3 cars to cars like these? Because they're quite different in some ways, aren't they, in the way that you can throw them around?
Yeah, I mean, the cars are very different, but the tyre compound makes it a bigger difference. To be honest, it's pretty hard to nail it down to one thing, but it's definitely a new challenge.
Well, best of luck today in the race. We look forward to seeing it.
Thank you.
Hugh Barter, everybody, and obviously, as you can tell, quite unflappable in the early parts of today from the front row of the grid. He's going to be trying to get one over on Nano Lopez down towards turn 1. But for now, we'll go back to Claire, and I'll see if I can grab anybody else for you.
Well, you'll struggle, Chaz, because you're going to get chucked off, I'm afraid, with 3-minute board already been shown. In the Hoosier Formula Cup, we're going racing very shortly. The formation lap will get underway, and we will be racing for 20 minutes around this Mugello circuit. And what a beautiful circuit is. We've got some beautiful weather this morning as well. If I say beautiful one more time, I might start saying bellissimo and turn Italian or something like that. My Italian is pretty bad. But Hugh Barter was on pole position for Paul Ricard. He had a stellar weekend where he got pole position, obviously, in both races in Circuit Paul Ricard round 1. And then he managed to pick up 3 wins out of 3 for Winfield Racing as well. And obviously, he picks up the rookie winner in that one by just winning, really, and being the top rookie. In the gentleman winners, we had Auburn Robert Prince, Christophe Ernie, and Alain Boucher. But for this one, it'll be Nano Lopez who starts on pole position for both the races. And then the third race, we will find out. It is the way that the qualifying works. It is your fastest lap and your fastest second lap. So obviously Nano Lopez setting 2 blistering laps in qualifying to manage to pick up pole position here. So the cars then just waiting patiently to be told that they can leave for the formation lap. You can hear the podium of the Ultimate GT Sprint happening in the background with Lyle Schofield, the winner in that one. Last few moments then from your engineers, a bit of a good luck, a bit of a reminder, a bit of a let's go, you've got this for the drivers. The nerves will start to rise at this point, with Nano Lopez looking to pick up his first win of the season. But Hugh Barter will be the one really at this point to watch off the line. And it will be interesting to see what the Winfield Racing driver can do. 19 years old is Hugh Barter. And as Chaz mentioned on the grid, has raced in Formula 3 for Campos Racing in 2023. And he's also competed in Spanish Formula 4 and French F4, finishing runner-up in 2021 and 2022. Born in Japan, but races under the Australian flag. So formation lap then underway, and I will take you through the grid very shortly. With Nano Lopez just leading them around this beautiful circuit. We've seen some great racing already here in Mugello. 15 corners round this incredibly undulating track. You wouldn't think it to look at it, but as you can see there, it is definitely more hilly than you realise. The lead up to turn 1 is pretty much uphill, but you would just not think it to look at the track. But as you can see there, it is significantly hillier than you would expect. And that has caught a few drivers out. Mugello was on the calendar for last year, and actually the Hoosier Formula Cup did manage to get out and do some racing. A lot of the other racing was disrupted a lot by rain, but these guys seem to manage quite a good time out here last year. And I don't think we'll have any threat of rain today, so that's going to be pretty good. Mugello was a bit later in the year, was for Ultimate Cup last time. We're much earlier. We were in September last time, and now we're in April. But it was Juan Francisco Soldavini who won all 3 races in Mugello, and Enzo Richo picked up a second and a third. And that was to the point where it was the 4th round of the championship with only 2 more to go, and the championship went down to the wire in the end. But it was Enzo Richo who picked up the 2024 title. But now it's all eyes on who can start to extend their championship lead here. And at the moment it looks as though Hugh Barter rather, could have a chance to extend his championship lead. All wins in the last one. Dylan Estra picked up 2 second places and a 4th. Nano Lopez 3 places and a 2nd place. So this championship is already heating up, and soon they will put the pedal down and the throttle will go up, and we will go racing here in Mugello. Nano Lopez then on pole position. From Hugh Barter in 2nd. 3rd is Dylan Estra. 4th is Aaron Ferrazzano. 5th is Matteo Valente. Soli and Rouche in 6th. Lauren Vutic in 7th. Walter Reichardt in 8th. Alain Boucher in 9th. Frederick Boileau in 10th. Rounding up the top 10. Thierry Malholm and Gilles de Pierre and Craig McClatchy just at the back. But the green flag is flying at the back, and we will go racing in Mugello. And it looks like a good start there from Walter Reichardt. They just dip under, so let's see who it's going to be. Is it going to be Nano Lopez in front or Hugh Barter? Is Nano Lopez in front at the moment? And actually, Dylan Estra has had a good start to make himself up to 2nd place into turn 1. And actually, in that moment, Hugh Barter has dropped down to 3rd. So not a good start from Hugh Barter, who started 2nd. He's coming up the inside though of turn 3 on Dylan Estra. Can he make it work there into 2 and 3, heading down to turn 4? Maserati and looks like Nano Lopez then still in the front. That there is Walter Reichardt, Laurent Vutic rather. Nano Lopez then still leading the way from Dylan Estra in 2nd. Hugh Barter then has had to slot into 3rd. Looked like he was going to make it happen into turn 2 and 3, but unfortunately he's going to have to slot in just behind. Behind that is Aaron Ferrazzano and Matteo Valente in 5th. So Nano Lopez, brilliant start from him actually, and managed to really command it into that weird, almost little dip that we get before it goes up again into turn 1. And as I said, it's quite a steep turn. And actually, Nano Lopez here is pulling away from Hugh Barter and Dylan Estra. Estra getting himself up to 2nd place early on, and Hugh Barter having to slot in behind. But I don't think this is the last we're going to hear of the battle between Hugh Barter and Dylan Estra. As you can see there, he's closing in a little bit on the start-finish straight and into the right-hander of turn 1. Nano Lopez then in the lead, but it's this battle we're watching here between Hugh Barter and Dylan Estra at the moment. Oh, a little twitch there from Dylan Estra heading into turns 2 and 3, but he remains in front as it stands at the moment with Hugh Barter. Oh, big twitch there, big slide from Dylan Estra. Oh, he would have lost a lot of time there, and Hugh Barter will be looking and thinking, thank you very much, I'm into that. I want to see how many more forced mistakes I can make you do. Dylan Estra then just struggling slightly out there, maybe for temperature, maybe just under pressure, a bit too much from Hugh Barter behind. But it looks like he's stuck to him like glue, doesn't it? Black and orange flag is being shown to car number 10, which is Craig McClatchy, down in 12th at the moment. But you can definitely see that Dylan Estra is just not as confident on his tyres as Hugh Barter is, and it's definitely going to be an interesting one to watch. Aaron Ferrazzano just there behind, having a bit of a lonely race at the moment for Winfield Racing, just kind of watching the top 3 and thinking, when do I capitalise here? Nano Lopez, however, is setting fastest 1st and 2nd sector as he's got a bit of clear air out there. But I do think it's this battle for 2nd and 3rd which we're going to watch, and what will happen here between these two. They are 2nd and 3rd in the championship at the moment. Hugh Barter leading the way, rather. So 1st and 2nd in the championship with Nano Lopez in 3rd. So it's all to play for as it stands. Nano Lopez, though, the one that's having a lovely race, and it's this battle that we are going to continue to watch. And car number 22 then is Hugh Barter, Dylan Estra in front. That is Aaron Ferrazzano behind in 4th for Winfield Racing. Joining us again for this race weekend. Alan Ferrarizano had a good start to his Ultimate Cup campaign. He got a 5th, 4th and a 3rd, so a podium for Aaron Ferrarizano in the 3rd race in Paul Ricard. So good to see him getting some points on the board after joining Hoosier Formula Cup for the first round. A lot of new names and new faces we've seen in this championship, and it's great to see. This, though, we are following is Matteo Valente, who is also new for Artline Virage, and joins us again for the 2nd race weekend. Unfortunately, he had a retirement for Team Virage in the final race in Paul Ricard, but before that, he was running pretty well with a 4th and a 5th. So he will be looking to do one better here if he can get onto the podium. Craig McClatchy then into the pit lane, says Chaz down in the pit lane. He's got a broken front wing. He was given the black and orange flag, so that would make sense to why he's now in the pit lane. Another issue for Craig McClatchy, who seems to pick up quite a few issues in the Ultimate Formula Cup. And unfortunately, his bad luck continues for the Australian. There we go then. That's the sticker of car number. Oh, it's a bit wonky. That's going to really, that's going to irritate me. Oh, I can't see that. No, Winfield Racing, I'm going to have to send you a strongly worded letter because that number 1 is not as big as the 0. The 0 is massive. So Craig McClatchy then coming back out into the race, albeit in 13th, down at the back, I'm afraid. But I can't deal with that sticker. So that's Solenine and Rouge joining us again in the red car that's just behind this bright orange. I'm loving this, the 2 liveries of these two. Solenine and Rouge just behind in car number 95. And she is currently chasing down Lauren Vutic, who is leading the gentleman class at the moment in car number 85, the orange livery in front. Solenine Amrouche has been with us in the championship for a couple of years, but however, it's been her first time in the last couple of years that she's been part of the Hoosier Formula Cup. 5-second penalty for disrespecting the race director instructions for car 24 and 88. That's Nano Lopez, and 58 would be Aaron Ferrarizano. So if we got a 5-second penalty here then for those two, that's quite a significant pen. So 5-second time penalty for disrespecting race director instructions. And that's for Nano Lopez. And for 4th place, Aaron Ferrarizano. So as it stands at the moment, he's only got, Nano Lopez, a 3.5 second advantage. So if he's going to have a 5-second penalty, he's going to drop down to 4th. So could be quite significant there if he doesn't manage to pull up more time. He's nearly 4 seconds clear of Dylan Estra. But a 5-second time penalty is quite significant for Nano Lopez, who's just set the fastest 3rd sector. So I'm guessing someone's given him the hurry on. But he's going to have to pull out a second here from Dylan Estra and Hugh Barter, who are currently battling behind. This is Walter Reichardt in car number 2, gentleman driver, joining us again for Mugello. Last time out, picked up a 13th, 14th and 10th overall. Currently enjoying a nice ride around this Mugello circuit is Walter Reichardt. He joined us as well for last year. And he was in the 13 inches to start and then joined over to the 17 inches in Paul Ricard. And he had a best of 2 second places, 2 fourths rather, in Hockenheim. But still at the front then, Nano Lopez, who, there's another 10-second time penalty here for, there's a 10-second time penalty, steward's decision in race 3 from Paul Ricard, but for car number 59, I think that is. We'll look at my timing screen a little bit closer, 59. So car 59 has picked up a 10-second time penalty from something that happened in Paul Ricard. Car 59 is Matteo Valente, so he's running 5th at the moment. Oh, it's going to be one of those races. I'm going to have to do some maths quickly, and I'm never very good at that. So, Outline Virage have got a 10-second time penalty for something that happened in Paul Ricard. That's Matteo Valente running 5th at the moment. In 4th is Aaron Ferrazzano, but he's got a 5-second time penalty, so he's going to drop down. So at the moment it looks like Dallin Estra, I'm saying all the names in a different way now. Dylan Estra will probably, as it stands, win this race unless, and I say that Nano Lopez is now 4.5 seconds clear of Dylan Estra, so it could still be Nano Lopez here that can take the win, and Hugh Barter is 5 seconds behind. So at the moment, Nano Lopez's 5-second time penalty will drop him down to second. So we're going to have to do some incredible maths as we go. Luckily, it's only 5 seconds, so I can do that one. I'd love to know why there is a 10-second time penalty for car number 59, which is the Artline Virage car of Matteo Valente, the rookie. Let's see if we can find that out in between the break and see what's going on. Anyway, this 9 minutes left, 9.5 minutes left on the clock. So much going on in terms of time penalties and such. I would assume the issue with the disrespecting the race director instructions, and I'm not sure what that is either. I wonder if Chaz could pop down and speak to what's going on for Nano Lopez in the TS Corsa team. See if he can get out his best Italian, ask what's going on. So the gap is now 5 seconds between Dylan Estra and Nano Lopez. That would mean that he retains the lead, but he's got to keep the pace up. So if he can finish 5 seconds clear of Dylan Estra in second place and of Hugh Barter behind, who are dropping away a little bit now, Nano Lopez wanting to keep this win, he should be okay in terms of keeping the win, which will be significant in helping me not have to do maths. Aaron Ferrazzano, though, will drop out the pack. That's a 10-second time penalty. So he's just racing for pride at the moment because he will drop down to, probably like P9 maybe? Let's have a look. No, not that far. He won't drop that far. He will drop maybe a place, actually, because there's 10 seconds between him and Laurent Vitic. I'll have to look later. We've got 8 minutes to go. There's plenty that can go on till then. So let's keep an eye on the battle at the front, though. This, again, is Amrouche versus Vitic. And she can't quite find a place to get round Laurent Vitic here. And looks like she's putting a little bit of pressure on Laurent Vitic, but she's got to find a way to get round it. And Vitic has raced in 2024 Mugello and Paul Ricard, so he's raced this track before, but he withdrew from Magny-Cours last year and finished 15th overall in the 13 inches, so he's definitely raced before. Track limits already getting reported then. Car 59, that is Aaron Ferrazzano, Matteo Valente, but it's only the first slap on the wrist, so he should be all right for now. It turns 15, it looks like, is the issue there. Nano Lopez now a second clear, as you can see there, of his penalty. So brilliant work from Nano Lopez here to manage to pull out 2 seconds in just a couple of laps, really. And obviously being given the go-ahead to run pretty fast out there, because the last lap was a 1:45.7, lapping significantly faster than those behind him. A whole second clear of Dylan Estra's lap, the last lap. So you can see now why he's pulling away so fast, because he's pulling out a second on a lap. That's pretty impressive work. Dylan Estra still sitting in second behind Hugh Barter in third then. This is the battle between Solly and Amrouche and Laurent Vitic for 6th and 7th. Vitic leading the gentleman class. Solly and Amrouche is a rookie, so she will want to get as many points as she can in this championship at this point. She got a 10th 11th and 5th place last time out in Paul Ricard overall. So she's already picked up her first points and currently enjoying herself out there. In terms of championship, oh, I hope they're watching us, not the French one. You can watch either, I don't mind. She's currently 5th in the rookie standings at the moment. Hugh Barter leading the way with his 2 wins from last time, and Dylan Estra in 2nd and Nano Lopez in 3rd. This performance, though, will be pretty good for Nano Lopez in the championship fight. Would love to see if they're staying a little bit longer. Sometimes we see drivers come in for a round and then leave again, but it would be so great if we could see these top 3 racing with us all year. That would be absolutely brilliant, because it seems to be the battle is between these guys and also Matteo Valente and Aaron Ferrazzano. So it's been already great to see these 5 rookies battling it out for the last 2 rounds, and we will see 2 more races happen before the end of the day. Leading the gentlemen's standings is Christophe Ernie, who I believe isn't actually here this weekend. He is not. Alain Boucher is 2nd, and he is running this weekend. He's currently down in 10th place, so in points, but that'll be good for him. So to pick up his 3rd, 6th, and 1st in class in Paul Ricard could mean that indeed he will take the lead in the championship from Christophe Ernie. There's only a couple of, Christophe Ernie is on 76 points, and in 2nd is Alain Boucher in 63 points. So hearing from the pit lane from Chaz that could be an infringement on the formation lap for Nano Lopez. That could be a number of things, really. Not leaving quick enough. It could be a number of things. I know that the formation lap was under investigation, but we often see that in racing in the Hoosier Formula Cup. But this time it looks like there has been some sort of infringement that happened. I'm not entirely sure what that could have been, because you kind of leave and then you start your formation lap. But anyway, at the moment it's not going to bother him too much, because he's got a 7-second lead over 2nd place Dylan Estra. So he is racing the boots off that car, and it is brilliant to see, because he definitely has deserved to pick up a win here with his racing. Clean racing from all these drivers, actually. Dylan Estra clinging on as it stands at the moment to 2nd place, and Hugh Barter in 3rd. Solian and Ruchier then still trying to find a way to get around Laurent Vutic for 6th place. And Vutic keeping himself very, very wide as a bus to make sure she can't get past. Two minutes left then on the clock here in Mugello for the first race of the Hoosier Formula Cup. We have 2 more races to come this afternoon. And this is the battle here. Car number 33, which is Thierry Mahon versus Gilles Depierre, down for 11th and 12th. So both gentlemen drivers battling it at the rear of the pack. But we have 2 more of the Hoosier Formula Cup races to come. We've got one at 3:05 local time. That's race 2. And then the final race of the day for the Ultimate Formula Cup Series will be the Hoosier Formula Cup at 5:25 will be race 3, 20 minutes of that to enjoy. We'll need to see where the leader is to know where we're at with the lap, because this could be significantly... Nano Lopez there, let's see where he is. I think this should be then the final lap of the race. No, he's coming around the final corner, so we will probably have this and then 1 more lap off the back of this. So this is probably the penultimate lap of the race. And at the moment he's got an 8-second lead. So pretty impressive performance there from car number 24, Nano Lopez, as he comes around turn 12. to head down the little kink of turn 13 and 14 before the left-hander of turn 15 that takes you back onto the start-finish straight. And with, we will probably have 30 seconds or so left on the clock, we will have another lap before the end. And there he is, turning around turn 15 and heading onto the start-finish straight to start the final lap of the race. Nano Lopez then picking up a 8-second lead here, despite his 5-second time penalty. But it looks pretty commanding from Nano Lopez, the rookie who is joining us for another round of the Hoosier Formula Cup, and it's great to see Nano Lopez involved. Like I said, last year he absolutely showed such promise coming in and almost scaring a couple of the championship contenders and picking up some wins and picking up some podiums rather, 2 third places. The Argentinian racing then for TS Corsa this weekend. And that is Dylan Estra, who is now 9 seconds behind the leader. And you have to give it to Nano Lopez. This has been an incredible performance from the Argentinian to pull out 9 seconds on Dylan Estra and Hugh Barter. And it has to be said, this isn't an easy feat. These are good drivers behind. Dylan Estra is a quick racer, and Hugh Barter, like I said, has been racing for Formula 3. So it's not an easy feat, has Nano Lopez done here. And you have to say, it will be a sweet win for him as well. Nano Lopez then making his way around to pick up his first win of the season, and he will do it in style, and it's great to see from Nano Lopez as he sweeps around the final few corners here, heading back down to the start-finish straight to pick up his first win of the year. And he's done it in style. 9 seconds clear of Dylan Estra and Hugh Barter, which means regardless of that 5-second penalty, it'll be Nano Lopez who takes the win here in Mugello, the first race of the Hoosier Formula Cup. And it goes down to our speedy Argentinian, Nano Lopez, winning. Dylan Estra then crosses the line in second, Hugh Barter in third. Aaron Ferrazzano will cross the line in fourth, but he has a 10-second time penalty, so will drop down a little bit further from where he's finished. Crossing the line though. Oh, Solian Amrouche then just coming off the track, unfortunately there, just on the final lap. Matteo Valente crossing the line in fifth. Laurent Vutic just behind. Solian Amrouche was running in seventh before, unfortunately, having an issue there at the final lap, so she won't cross the line in seventh. It'll be Walter Reichardt. And you have to say that is a very good performance from So brilliant then from Nano Lopez, who lines up there ready to be interviewed. And we are going to leave actually, Chaz, I'm going to let you take over for the final few moments of this race. And we will head down and chat to Nano Lopez.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. That's on my part. A little bit of confusion there because I ran back up to the commentary box to get ready for the GT Endurance race just after this one. Claire has now bolted out of the room. Thank you very much to Claire as we transition over for this one. But great race that for Nano Lopez indeed. A very, very commanding victory. He got the penalty early on, knew that he had to break away, and then he did the job on circuit to make sure that nobody could quite match him. Dylan Estra, second place in car number 23. Third place going the way of Hugh Barter by the end. Very solid stuff from the race winner, though. He didn't look challenged at all, did he? He got the hurry up, as Claire mentioned, to crack on with the job at hand. And he takes the victory. A good handshake there to his competitors. Big hug with one of his team members. Very well done indeed. A great drive for his first win of the season from pole position as well. Looks like Claire's just getting down there to interview them now. We'll just give it a second and then make sure. And I'm told we are ready for an interview. Results on your screen, but we'll hop down to the pit lane and speak with Nano Lopez.
Well, what an impressive performance. You were given a 5-second time penalty at the beginning of the race. You then managed to win by 9 seconds. Did you get the no? Did you know that you had a 5-second penalty?
Yeah, they told me about it in second lap, and I didn't know why. I still don't know why, but yeah.
I'm not sure any of us do, really. Something to do with the formation lap, we think.
I don't know what could have happened, but yeah, as soon as they told me I had a 5-second penalty, I tried to make the gap as big as I could. And yeah, obviously we managed to do that. So yeah, really happy. The team gave me a fantastic car. We have been strong all weekend. So yeah, let's try and continue that for the 2 races remaining.
But it wasn't just a bit of a big. It was, you had a 5-second penalty and you won by over 9 seconds. Yeah. That's really impressive in a car like this, and especially with who you had behind you. It was impressive racing drivers behind you as well. Yeah.
As we know, they both have a lot of experience. So yeah, really happy to have won the race, and yeah, hopefully we can continue with this pace to the other races.
Absolutely, it was the championship leader behind you as well, so it wasn't like it was an easy person behind you. But for you, this is really important points. We've got 2 more races to go this afternoon. How are we feeling about them?
Yeah, I think if we can maintain the same level as we did now, yeah, we could be P1 in the championship at the end of the weekend. So yeah, that's the goal, and let's hope we can do that.
Easily at this point, if you carry on how you did. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're gonna